Hey guys, level 2 here. Alright, this video is an introduction to who we are and what we do and what is the way forward, a little bit about our past. So this is the level 2 trading community. What it is we really actually doing in level 2 is more or less forming a group of retail futures traders. Dabble a little bit on forex, but a lot focused on futures. So let's go to who we are, where we located. So you can see Miami here. This is a Google pic, a Google Earth picture. This is Miami here. I live in the small island named Trinidad and Tobago, just off the northeastern coast of Venezuela. Probably 1.5 million people. Our culture is more like carnival, and we have both cultures. I am from Indian descent and from African descent. A couple pictures of more or less carnival in my country. Beaches are like about maximum 2 hours away from where I live, and our small capital city. All right, so who I was, what we call my past life. All right, so my name is Elvis Devinarain. 37 years old. So my previous job was an E&I engineer. Specialization, I used to do tendering, negotiation, commission, and implementation of projects in the oil and gas, meaning we build chemical plants. So you can see a picture here of one of the chemical plants that I actually worked to construct. Started at the age of 20. Don't have a degree. um, More or less worked my way up through training programs and stuff, and did my PMI, price project management, PMPs. So that's how I became an engineer. Was an engineer by the age of 25, working for the same company that I started with. So I had 5 years experience at that time. So more or less for gain through experience and stuff. So what we did in the oil and gas industry was more or less we were implementation guys, meaning we tendered for the construction of chemical plants and built them in the country. Now Trinidad and Tobago is both sides, so we have the advantage of living in the Caribbean, meaning you have sun, sand, and sea, and plus we have black gold in our country, meaning that we have oil and gas, which is goes both ways. So it always has crime in every country. I think whether it's what we call perfect, we're like between 20 degrees Celsius and 32, which is like about 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 95. That is the average temperature here. Most of the time sunny. We just to the southern edge of the hurricane belt, so we don't see a great amount of hurricanes. We see some tropical storms. So that is who I was. Previous life, I retired at the age of 31. Resigned more or less. Stresses of work, meaning that work took me away from home for long periods. When I mean long periods was a couple of years at a time. I worked more or less throughout the Caribbean doing implementation jobs. Even in country, used to live away from home because of the hours. Usually working 16 hours, 7 days a week, on trots of like 3 months, 1 day off sometimes. So I retired at 31, took my small amount of savings, more or less, look for new opportunities. Also, the oil industry was more or less declining because of the oil price, so that just kind of hastened my actions to leave. So who I am now is I'm 37 years old now. I'm a retail swing trader. I trade swing and the time frames, trade futures. So more or less, I consider myself my own personal risk manager, meaning that I manage all my risk and trade using the strategies that more or less figured out from trading in the markets, demoed for 2 years part time and came across the live account after blow up 110K account, and then 15K, well, 12.5K it cost me. Uh, Normal thing in learning to trade, so trading is a job. You must always think of trading as a job. So now I specialize in the S&P futures, which is slash ES, and the crude oil futures, which is slash CL. So you have rollover months and futures. Futures trading a bit different from trading more or less spot forex, futures forex, oil, and why we would trade S&Ps on oil. I always like one commodity and one market, and so it gives me a little bit of leeway on what I'm looking at, what then offers me opportunities at different times and risk. So trading using money management, especially, which is being a risk manager, trading safe, trading small. If you're here any of my videos here, that's my tag like trade small, trade safe, trade smart. Three S's. So that is how we trade. So I refer to us as we because I have a business partner who is coming in to the business in September. Currently, he is on a contract doing what I used to do. 55 years old. Used to be my boss at a point in time. Where more or less taught me a lot about industry and stuff, and looking to more or less move on also. So who we want to be. So at level 2 we want to be have guys of varying ages. Right now we I am training two guys here in country at probably you could consider my house. Building the office now, so you have a housing for 3 to 5 guys outside, and well, in the office, when we complete the office, most likely we should be ready to launch the office in September. So what they have been going through is, if you view more videos, is more or less the technicalities of how to trade, when to trade, why to trade. So I'll be going into that in future videos. So what we actually looking to do is have an effective team of retail traders, and more or less trading what you see in the market. You don't have to have the same opinion as me or same stance as me. If I'm bearish in the market, you could always be bullish. That is what makes a market. So we just do it for the common good. So meaning that more or less pool our money together and have built-in hedges because of our different styles. As per usual, trading is always a risk. We are not CFAs. We do not advise any trades or anything that is a requirement by law. I am not that. What I'm be creating is more or less I doing a vlog or a video channel via YouTube on what we are and how we progressing within the trading community, and how we are implementing our strategies and doing learning. So that's a basic introduction to what level 2 is. I know usually at this point there would be a sales pitch. Oh, come to my room, there is a pitch. No, there is not a pitch. We don't intend to more or less go to the outside. On trading is just a vlog of how we trade and doing live streams of what we trade and when we trade and sharing the experience of becoming a retail trader and seeing if guys interested in actually learning how to trade and how to risk manage. And we'll be focusing on two things in the near future, which is from July the 1st I'll be more regular trading, more or less doing our um, daily trade plans for the day following on evenings, and doing live stream YouTube of myself trading during the hours of 9:30 a.m. to 11:30. Probably will be doing 2 hour stream of what I look for, what I'm looking at for that particular day in the slash ES and the slash CL. We would be having also deep dive into Top Step Trader, which we see as an opportunity to get to know. We are nowhere affiliated to Top Step. I haven't joined a combined as yet taught a couple people to pass the combine in the past. Well, they were successful most of the time. As per usual, trading is 60% skill, 40% luck at some point. So what we actually be going and do is a deep dive into with the pros and cons at top step in the next following videos, and trading with the new micro futures contracts on the slash ES especially. There are no micros on the slash CL. So we focusing on ways the different risk and how to manage risk in both, and implementing some of the strategies that I have, doing strategy builds, using some free tools, and looking at a way forward. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. This is just an introduction. Hopefully you will find some good knowledge. There's no sales gimmick in this. We don't intend to do much on the way of more or less trying to get people to join the YouTube. If you like the videos, subscribe. If you want to be thing, don't subscribe, don't like. It doesn't more or less bother us too much. So we are self-capitalized. So we wouldn't be looking for much in the way of capitalization or any capitalization from outside sources, except for like building leverage with using Top Step or trading micros and using our margin accounts to build our account to larger amounts. So I hope you guys like the short video. See you guys next video. Okay, guys, bye.